Hey everyone. I was working on my release and my follow through recently, and I was just looking at my swing from behind, and I noticed that I sort of lost my lateral side bend, and I was doing this sort of funky thing with the hips. You know, I've been working on my hips a lot. But I think I finally found something, so I wanted to share that with you. Okay, so here's what I learned is you can see in my recent swings, I'm still doing this sort of hip thrusty action. It's a stall. And what that does is it still makes my torso and my follow through do this weird sort of action like that, which I was trying to get rid of. And in my other video blowing up my swing, I was trying to pull this hip back and come over the top with my torso, which helped me to do that and get my weight more over my left side and not back like that. But I guess it was a hard move to ingrain, and well, the results is I regressed, and I could see that from the down the line view in this slow motion video, where I come in and I do the little bit of goat humping. I lose my spine angle, and my torso stays more upright through impact, and then I jump. Doing this jump like that, and that's been bothering me. I've been trying to get rid of it, and that kind of, I had to say, wow, maybe I just need to start all over again. So what I did was I looked at my original video, I went back to it, and I said, all right, what was I doing there? It almost felt like I had my arms straight and I was just going through the ball like this, except with just bending a little and then just going through. And I discovered, I guess I understand it better now, it's a really hard thing to describe, but instead of trying to get two separate movements of the hips and then the torso, I just went back to that feeling of having just my arm on a plane and then just rotating, just rotating through. And it comes down to a single point, I noticed, where it's right when my arm is around here. Either I do the jump hip like that, or I continue to turn through, and I bend my torso. I can feel a bend and a pull right in there. It's either a jump hip stall or a continual turning of the hips, and it's very subtle, but it all comes down to that, and it's just through the thought of just turning through. And so what I do now is in my warm-up to get that feeling is I just keep my arms straight and I just go and I just turn through like that, just to get the feeling of right in here. And that allowed me to once again get my lateral side bend back and right in there turn through, which you can see again in the after videos. I'm still progressing because I combined it with this higher shoulder, right shoulder, and also the shaft on the shoulder move. And so now I can really get more power and really feel like I'm delaying my release while turning through, and really getting into some correct positions. So I'm going to continue working on that, and by coming back at it a second time, what it does is it really helps my understanding to saying, okay, now I understand better how the body and the torso works. And also it's just one swing thought. It's not these separate things to work on. I'm really trying to just simplify as much stuff as possible and not have, 60 different little moves to work on, and got to do this and your wrist and all of this sort of internal and external. It's just too much. I don't have the time for that. So for me, if I can get one swing thought which corrects a lot of these things, that's what I'm trying to share with you guys. Now, to do all of this, I went through many hours of experiments and thoughts, failures, going down the wrong path. There's different ways of doing things. I tried correcting it by pulling the hip back and throwing the torso over. But I found that just this one swing thought of just turning through and facing the target actually does all of that. So I'll show you the before and afters, and hopefully this will clear things up for you as well. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks. So I went back to it and I said, all right, what was I doing there that I've somehow lost?